town of Rippen, Wisconsin, prominent Republicans gather to celebrate the formation of the Republican Party in this little white schoolhouse just 100 years ago. Wearing the styles of the last century, Ripon citizens reenact the historic meeting at which 53 Whigs, abolitionists, and Democrats, violently opposed to slavery, formed their new party and called it Republican. The GOP's father, Alvin Bovee, is represented among the first Republicans who decided to oppose extension of slavery. Republican National Chairman Leonard Hall declares that a century later we are a cohesive nation. A 10-foot freedom candle is lighted, marking the 100th birthday of the Republican Party. Britain's touring Queen Elizabeth and the Duke of Edinburgh are welcomed in Brisbane, Australia, by thousands of youngsters staging a spectacular exhibition of graceful field dancing. The Queen and her consort watch with interest as the youngsters begin a complicated maneuver. It may look confusing now, but it all comes out all right. Later, the veteran cruiser Australia, making her last voyage, plays host to Elizabeth and Philip. It's a dramatic climax to years of steadfast service by this Australian warship. Full naval honors are paid to Elizabeth by the assembled crew. But the biggest moment for every man aboard comes when he has his picture taken with the Queen. The Moscow Peking Express pulls into Moscow Station for its first trip between both cities. Russian and red China flags on display in these rare scenes from the heart of the Soviet Union show the ties between the two communist nations. Ranking Reds from both countries are on hand to make the first trip between the capitals of Russian and Chinese communism. Passengers must have ticket, passport, and undoubtedly a good word from the secret police for the 9-day trip on this new train, which is sure to follow the Moscow-Peking line. A freedom flight of 68 escapees from behind the Iron Curtain arrives in Washington from Germany. Russian, Czechoslovakian, Hungarian, and Polish refugees from 2 to 65 are in the party, which is met by Harold Stassen, Foreign Operations Director. In a strange new land, the tots are curtsy conscious. Young and old can forget now the nightmare of red tyranny and look forward to the promise that is America.
I'm very happy myself and my whole family too. Now, today, I come in free war for a very bad country. Yeah. With the people, no live like a normal people, and nice like here in United States. Probably like the people work for nothing. But I hope here now have a nice and good job with the whole family work for a nice life.
Skier June De Lieris arrives for her wedding to another skier, Rusty Frodenberg, which is going to be on skis. Witnesses, guests, and the bridal party take the chairlift to Squaw Peak in California's High Sierras, where the ceremony is going to take place. Here comes the bride, feeling pretty cool about the whole thing. The couple exchange vows, she in wedding veil, he wearing the formal attire customary for mountaintop weddings. A kiss fails to thaw the ice, but the young newlyweds glide off anyway beneath an arch of ski poles with a frosty wedding reception scheduled at a ski lodge below when they come down to earth. The Knights of Columbus meet at New York's Madison Square Garden sends a track field away in the feature 2-mile race. The crowd watches Olympic steeplechase hero Horace Ashenfelter take the lead, only to have Fred Wilt, his fellow FBI agent, snatch it away. It's Wilt still out front. Ashenfelter is bucking a jinx that has seen him fail to beat Wilt in 5 years and 16 indoor races. But this may be Ashenfelter's night. Folding into first place, he has the crowd on its feet as the runners swing into the final lap. Pulling away from Wilt with a tremendous finishing kick, Ashenfelter laps the stragglers in the field as he sprints to his 10th straight indoor victory and smashes an old jinx. The flying FBI man, Horace Ashenfelter. The The 51st Annual American Bowling Congress Championships at Seattle find the cream of the nation's maple maulers firing their best shots. Applause and the thunder of tumbling 10-pins echo across the alley as the first of 16,000 bowlers blast away. Sore thumbs and aching shoulders are the rule during the 46-day World Series of Bowling to determine the kingpin kegglers in the United States. There are $175,000 in prizes, and that's pretty good pin money, no matter how you split it. Florida's picturesque Gulfstream Park is the scene of the third running of the $146,000 Florida Derby. A lake in the track center and a miniature riverboat add to the color. And they're off. The horses are sprinting for position as the bulky field of 16 3-year-olds sweeps past the grandstand for the first time. C.O. Aaron and Sir Chris are battling it out for the lead, with the favored Goyamo in 14th place. The record crowd of almost 32,000 sees C.O. Aaron forge to the front and open up daylight as the field drives along the backstretch. But it's still anybody's horse race. Rounding the turn into the home stretch, watch Correlation in the center of the track with Willie Shoemaker up. Only Eddie Yalcaro on Goyamo has a chance. But there's no catching Correlation, winner of the $100,000 jackpot in the Florida Derby.